So we'll have a look at this. It's an exam style question. It's worth 4 marks. First of all, we read the question. Akash needs to put plastic trim on a shaped window. The window is made using a rectangle and a semicircle. The diagram shows the places where he needs to put the plastic trim. And as you can see, the plastic trim is this shape here. Okay? Akash estimates that he'll need 700 centimetres of trim in total. Your question is to use estimation to check if his estimate is sensible, and you've got to show your working out, okay? So using this scaffolded sheet here, the first question here, this box says, what is the diagram actually showing? Well, it's showing a shaped window made up of a rectangle. There's the rectangle. Made up of a half a circle or a semicircle and a letter V. Okay, that's where the trim's going. Half a circle, rectangle, letter V. Okay, so that's what that picture is actually showing. That's the first thing we need to do. We need to decide about that. How do we know it's a perimeter question? Because he's putting some trim on a shaped window. You put trim around the outside. Okay. Do we need the 700 at the moment? No, we don't, because that's just what Akash is thinking or estimating. But we're going to help him to work this particular question. So the question says, use estimation to check if Akash's estimate is sensible. You must show your working. It's a non-calculator question. So if it says that, if it says an estimation, what you've got to be thinking about is not using the exact numbers. So not using these numbers here, you need to make them easy to work with. So let's redraw the picture. Okay. There's the picture, roughly drawn, but there's the same picture. 59 centimetres, what could I estimate that as?
60.
Yeah, 60. It rounds it up, doesn't it? 60. What about the 113? What can I estimate that as? 110. When you're estimating, the best thing to do is to get all your answers, all your numbers answering in a 0, because it makes the calculations easy. What about this bottom measurement, 118? What can I make that into?
Yeah, 120.
120, yeah, I think 120 sounds about right to me. So that means instead of it being 172 up that side, we can make it 170, can't we? Which is that plus that anyway. Now, in all fairness, this number here on the right hand side, find a red pen, we don't actually need it. We don't actually need that. So there's our numbers. We've already identified that this is made up of 3 different shapes. It's made up of a rectangle, a semicircle, and that little letter V. So I used 3 different colours to work this out. Okay, 3 different colours. We're going to start with the easiest one, which is the rectangle. We get our pen. Here we go. Let's count. Start there. 110 plus 120 plus 110 plus 120. Okay, no calculator. Let's count the hundreds first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 400. Let's count the tens. 10, 20 plus 30, 40, 60. Do you agree?
Yes.
460. That's the rectangle which we've done in the black pen. Boom. Happy days. Put the black pen down, choose a different colour pen. You may not have a different colour pen, but that's okay. Alright, boom. Got the blue pen now for the semicircle. That bit there. Okay, but what do? I like to make it into a full circle because that makes it easier for me to see the picture. So there's the full circle. That's the centre of the full circle. Circle. What's the formula that we need? Pi times d. We know that pi is 3.14. Can write that in already. What's the diameter?
120.
120. We spot it instantly, don't we? We spot it straight away because there it is. Look, when we've drawn that circle, we can see it's 120. Or we recognise that that bit there is 60. Well, that's the radius. Yeah, we recognise it because we're starting to recognise the pictures. So we've got 3.14 times 120. It's non-calculator. It's an estimation. How can we make this 3.14 a bit easier? Let's get rid of the 0.14. Just make it 3. We're estimating. Doesn't have to be exact. 3 times 120. Well, that's quite straightforward, isn't it? 3 times 12 is 36. And stick the 0 on the end. 360. However, it's only half a circle, so now we have to divide that by 2, which gives us 180. Yeah? So now what we've got the rectangle, 460. We've got half a circle, 180. The only thing we're missing now, we'll do it in a green colour, is this V shape here. How big's the V? Well, what's that? Let's get another green pen. Watch this. How big's that V?
It's 1/3 of it.
It's 120, isn't it? That there is a radius. There's the centre. There's the outside edge. That's the radius, and the radius is 60. So the V is 60 plus 60. You can see where that's come from. Yeah? You see where we've got the two 60s from.
Yeah.
That one's 60 because it's the radius, and that one's 60 because it's the radius. There's the centre of the circle, remember. 60 plus 60 is 120. We've done the hard part of the sum. So all we've got to do now is add the rectangle, 460, to the half a circle, 180, to the V, 120, and see what we come up with. So, what is that? 760, I make that. So the question says, Akash, now got an answer, Akash estimates that he will need 700. Is his estimate sensible? No, he's quite a way off. 60 centimetres is quite a way off. So his estimate is not very sensible. Okay? He actually needs quite a bit more. Yeah? 4 marks for that particular question. So make the numbers easier to work with, which is what we did. If you're estimating anything, get onto 0. Get onto 0. Makes it so much easier to work. Yeah? Work out the perimeter and use pi as the number 3 rather than 3.14 because we're only estimating. Work out the circumference of the half a circle and then add the V in there and then answer the question. So that's 4-mark question for that particular question. Okay? 4-mark question. So far so good. Yeah? We've got a good understanding of
I'm a bit lost on the V bit.
the V bit. Okay, let's come back to the V bit. You don't understand that? Well, that's okay. Let's try and make it a bit easier by getting rid of the rectangle. Because we've used the rectangle there. So we've got a circle. Yeah? We've got a circle. There's half a circle that's in the mirror, in the window. I've made it into a full circle, purely and simply because when you see a full circle, I remember pi times diameter. So I've made it into a full circle. I'm obviously not going to use this bit, but I've made it into a full circle. If it's a full circle, From the centre to the outside edge is the radius. Yeah? We've already worked out that the diameter down here was 120, which was, if you remember, the width of that. So half of it, which is what that green line is there, is only 60, because it's from the centre of the circle
Right.
to the outside edge.
Oh, right.
And if I had two green lines,
Yeah.
one there, one there, if I do this
Yeah.
and pull them open, I've got a diameter. Or if I get this one and just pull it down there, I've got a diameter.
Yeah.
Yeah? It goes straight across. So that's why that's 60. It's half from the centre to the outside edge, and this one is also from the centre to the outside edge. And that's where the 60 plus 60 came from.
Right.
Yeah? Makes sense?
Yeah.
And sometimes, you've got to draw the picture sometimes. It may, if you'd have seen my exam paper, it was full of pictures with these kind of questions, because it makes it easier. It makes it easier. You can be lost in the words, and you can be lost in the picture of how to do this. Okay. I spoke to somebody a while ago about an exam question that they'd done, and they kind of remembered the question. She had a very good memory, this girl, and she talked me through a question, and she couldn't remember the exact figures, but we built a question around it, what she could remember, and it's this: the roundabout problem. It was a 6-mark question, this in the exam, a 6-mark question. The roundabout problem, okay? Here was the question. The Highways Agency are planning to redesign this roundabout and have come up with the plan shown below. There's the plan. They plan to plant bulbs along the yellow dotted line in a bid to make the roundabout more aesthetically pleasing. They've got the following information. Bulbs will be planted every 25 centimetres. Bulbs come in packs of 16, and each pack is £12.99p. Work out the cost of the bulbs. Okay? Now that looks like a tricky question for 6 marks. Okay? Looks like a tricky 6-mark question. Let's see if I can help you to make it a little bit easier by using the next slide. So we're going to come back to this in a second, because that's the end. We need to work out, first of all, the circumference of that, don't we? Because that's where the bulbs are going. So that's our first thing. We recognise it's a circle. We can see that straight away. However, we've got metres here. We've got 75 centimetres here. We've got 25 centimetres there. So we've got different units of measurement in that particular question. So that already is starting to ring the little alarm bells. Let's attack it in a sensible manner. So the full roundabout is 14 metres. That's that edge to that edge. Okay, that's the full roundabout, 14 metres across there. However, the one that we are working with is slightly smaller, and we've got 75 centimetres there. So this gap here is also going to be 75 centimetres, because that goes round, doesn't it, in a circle. Think of it as like a polo min, yeah? So what's the actual diameter of this inner circle? What's it going to be? What would that be? Well, what is 75 centimetres in metres? 0.75, isn't it? Yeah, it's 0.75. So if that little section there is 0.75, and that little section there is 0.75, what we're going to do, we're going to get the 14, we're going to take 0.75, we're going to take 0.75, and that should give us the diameter of that there in the centre. Yeah? Work out the circumference of the inner circle. Okay? Change the 75 centimetres to metres. 0.75. That's the first thing. So they're both the same, the metres. Yeah? They're both the same. And now we can see, I've only got one ruler, but now we can see. Let me get another ruler from the back. The width of the full roundabout is 14 metres. This one comes in by 0.75. This one also comes in by 0.75. So what have I done with that 14 metres? I've taken away 0.75 and then another 0.75. So that's given me then the diameter of that roundabout. Okay? Of that roundabout. Does that make sense? Yeah? So there's the 14. Take away the 0.75, take away the 0.75. So that means that this bit here now is 12.5 metres. That white line, that white ruler is 12.5 metres, which is the diameter of the smaller circle. Okay? So now we can work out the circumference of that circle by using the formula. 3.14 times diameter. 3.14 times 12.5, which gives us 39.25 metres. So this is 39.25 metres. Okay? Remembering back to the previous question, it said the bulbs are being planted every, was it 25 metres? Yeah? Every 25 centimetres. So now we've got two different units of measurements again. We've got 39.25 metres, but the bulbs are every 25 centimetres. So it's up to you then what you decide to do. Do you decide to change this to centimetres, or do you change the centimetres for the bulbs to metres? That's up to you, whichever way you decide. What I decided to do was to change this to centimetres because I'm putting the bulbs into that circumference. Does it make sense? Yeah? So how would I change that to centimetres? What would I do with that number?
Times it by 100.
You times it by 100. So it becomes 3,925 centimetres. So this yellow dotted line now is 3,925 centimetres. It sounds like a lot, but remember it's a roundabout. 3,925 centimetres. The bulbs are going one every 25 centimetres. So what am I going to do with that number? Divide it by 25, and that's going to tell me how many bulbs I need. 3,925 divided by 25 is 157 bulbs. Okay? I need 157 bulbs. It said on the previous slide again that bulbs came in packs of, how many? 12 in a pack. So what are we going to do with that number? Divide it by 12 to see how many packs we need. Let's do that. Oh, it's 16 in the pack, sorry.
Oh.
So 157 divided by 16 equals 9.8 packs. 10 packs. 10 packs. And they cost £12.99 per pack. So what's it going to cost us? £129.90. Yeah? Wow, big question. Yeah, big question. And you can see why it was a 6-mark question, because there was a lot going on. A lot going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks. But looking at that particular question, once you get to this bit here, that bit becomes quite easy. Then last 3 parts are fairly easy. Certainly the last 2 parts are easy, but those 3 parts are fairly easy. That's your tricky bit. That's your really maths bit, that bit there. But again, it's understanding the question. It's looking at that picture. It's seeing what you've got. And the big mistake a lot of people make here, and it's a simple mistake to make, it's an easy mistake to make, is to think that that's just 75. Because it's a circle, you think, oh, it's just 75 centimetres all the way around. But what you've got to look at this is, because you need the diameter in the equation, you've got to look at it as straight across. And when you do that with your ruler, I've not got a ruler long enough, so I'll join the 2 together. Yeah, there's the diameter, and you can see as I'm working it out, it's 14 minus 75 centimetres, minus 75 centimetres to give me the diameter of the middle bit, which is what you're looking for, is what you need. And that's that part of the sum there. Okay? That's that part of the sum. Does that make sense? That makes sense. It's a big, tough old question, that. It really is a tough question to do. But it was a 6-mark question in the actual exam. Okay? So far, so good. Let's see if I've got something else for you to do.